Welcome back, all of you beautiful beings of the universe. It's the Nerdy Stepdad coming at you with part 3 and the final part of Intro to Mods in Star Wars Galaxy of Hero. Today I'm going to be working the mods in my main account, so you can kind of see what I mean by working mods and actually watch me do it. So I think this is going to be a good experience, especially for the people in my guilds, just so you can kind of see what I go through on a regular basis. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get into our mods. Let's just go ahead. See? Nope, no low level mods. I didn't think I'd have any in this account. I do typically keep that pretty tight. Do we have... Yep, we have a couple arrows without speed. Let's just go ahead and sell them. No speed secondaries. Before we get rid of them, we are just going to... When you get to the point that you have this many credits, it's not near as important to be picking and choosing. I'm just going to upgrade them all, see what we get. Nope, no speed, no speed, no speed. They gotta go. Alright. So these all should have any speed. So they are good to go. All of these can be spliced up further. So one thing I hadn't talked about, I guess, is how to splice up a 5-dot gray. So we'll just assign that real quick. And we want to enhance it. It is at level 15, but we've got to get it up to gold. So you just kind of have to do that with each mod. The best way I found to do it is just to find a character and just splice them up. It does take some time to go through all of this, obviously. And you have to do it with each kind, which is really why we're going through this today, so you guys can see roughly how long it takes. Now, I have been while I've been keeping it pretty decent in terms of low level, I have not been keeping it decent in terms of just working them and getting rid of the stuff that doesn't meet my qualifications. So this is a little worse than it normally is because I'm a little bit behind. In all likelihood, I am going to speed up while I'm working this, so you guys don't have to sit here and just listen to me prattle on for tons and tons of time, and I'll just speed it up so you can watch as I work my way through it. Yep, we want to go ahead and get these all the way up. Okay, so I just went through and worked all the gray mods. I just want you guys to see all the mods that I'm going to be going through first, and then I'm just going to do a cutaway and cut back to everything correct, because I've decided it's just too much to really put on stream, even at a speeded up pace. I don't want it to be boring for you guys. So I just want you guys to see the number of mods we currently have. This is because I haven't gone through and made sure that they have the correct amount of speed. And when we cut back, I will show you what we end up with in terms of, they'll probably be all yellow because I have the mods and resources to do it. And then you'll see how much we have left. So currently we are at 316 of 500. We're gonna have way less of that when I cut back to you guys. So just one moment and you guys will get to see the nerdy stepdad back after he has worked his mods. And I am back, you beautiful and amazing beings of the universe. I did actually run out of some mod mats, so I didn't get to take them all up how I wanted to. But you are going to see, these are some ones I just took off of some characters that were done poorly back in the day, so we can go ahead and get rid of them. But as you can see, we are down to less than 80 mods. I just ran out of mod materials to keep trying to up these particular ones, and so I'll have to, as I get more, increase them again and work on them as I get more mats. This is not 15, so we can actually get rid of that as well. And so, like a bunch of these purples, if they end up not rolling enough speed, they're going to be sold eventually. One of the ways to sort this is by speed when you're going through and working your mods. That way all your good speed's up at the top. So like this one, we can upgrade it twice, purple and then to gold, but like this one's already at 16. It's already going to be good. So like this one is going to be one we're going to take up. This is going to be one we're going to take up. Up to there. Now this purple one, we have one more chance to roll when we take it to gold, and it could potentially be one we take up. This one we've got 2 chances, and so on and so forth. As we go lower, there's just less and less speed, and hopefully when we get done, we can have 5 to 10 new mods to be putting on characters that are needed. So when you're getting a lot of light side bundles, you're going to have less than stellar mods. They're not going to be this speedy. But you still don't want to be taking these to 6 dots if you don't have the speed. You can set them up like when, so like these right here, like if it doesn't roll a speed and it goes to gold at 13 speed, it's still good enough to put on a character. You're just not going to upgrade it to that 6 dot rarity because those mods, those materials are just too rare to be wasting on anything that's not going to be worth it long term. You're really wanting to get 20 plus speed on all of your mods. That is the ideal situation. There is another way to potentially get more speed. So you've got it up this far, you've had the 20, and you're trying to get that last roll, but you just can't quite get there with what you have. So you can go to calibrate, and this is where your micro attenuators come in, which I forgot to mention in previous videos, but really you shouldn't be using a micro attenuator until now anyway. But what you can do, so this is a health mod, we want to keep the health. The protection is not as important for this mod, so we can roll that protection off and try to get a speed. Or maybe we'll get more health, or maybe we'll get defense, or maybe we'll even get more protection than we currently have. We don't get to choose. It is random which one of these it chooses to roll off, and then it is random what secondary stat it rolls into. So, you know, we have a 33% chance of getting speed. No, 25% chance of getting speed, because it could still be protection, it could be defense, it could be health. So you got 25% chance to roll speed when you do this. But it's worth it because you can get some really good mods this way. So let's go ahead and calibrate and see what we get. All right, so we got protection. So it's taking from this one, but you see it's a lot more protection, so we can keep that change. Now that one was 15 to do. The second try will be 25, and it gets more expensive. You can only have 300 of these at a time. There's a few good places to find more. You do get them randomly as you're farming your mats. And I've already got them this week, but they're in our episode shipments right here. And so this is good value to get these whenever they're available. It's good value for these micro attenuators. Is the best place to find them, I believe, in game. All right, now let's go back to that mod that we were working on. Quickest way, just to go to any unassigned. Bam. All right. And we'll give it one more calibration attempt and see what happens here. Hey, look, we rolled our speed. That's exactly what we wanted. Now, it wasn't a good speed. It was only 3. I mean, ideally, we want upper end where it's 6, but it's still more speed. And so that's the end of this mod's life. We don't even need necessarily to take this any higher in terms of enhancing, because we can't get more speed. And the mod materials they're too precious to be using on the other ones. It's just what it is. So this mod is now complete. It's done. I need to find a place for it. I need to find a character that needs a potency circle. And really that's just going to take time trying to think of who potency people are. It's 6 dots, so Afra is probably a good one. When I get her up to gear 12, it will be a great home for her. Actually, that's where it's going to go. Just gonna replace that one. So like I said, I got some Lightspeed bundles a while back, and I just have too many characters with not enough good mods. So I do have less than perfect mods, but that's why we work these and we get the better mods on our characters over time. Yeah, like knowing what character needs what mod comes with time. You start to learn who needs what. Of course, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero GG is going to be a big help. And you just really start to learn what characters need speed, what characters are going to need potency, what characters need offense, what characters need defense, etc., etc. The more you play the game. And then you won't necessarily have to go to this as often because you'll know. But until you get to that point, until you get that experience, just go to that website, start searching, try to figure out who could use those mods as you roll the really good ones. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. So I know this wasn't the longest of videos compared to the other 2 mods, but I just wanted you guys to see you can build up a pretty big stash of mods thinking, oh, I'm doing good. And then once you work them with those requirements that we've talked about in the previous videos, where we want those speedy mods, where we want the green with at least 6 to 8 speed, where we want the blue with 8 to 10, where we want the purple with 10 or more, and before we take it to 6 dot, we have to have 15. Like, I went from 300 plus mods down to 77. And even a lot of these are going to be sold over time. I just ran out of mod slicing materials, mod upgrading materials. So, I hope that you guys found this educational, that you guys start to understand why mods can be rare, and why getting a good mod is a happy experience, why so many content creators, when they roll those speeds, get so excited. Why, and like showing you guys in that battle, like why, in the second video of why speed is important, where my lower level troopers were able to get out ahead of that Phoenix team with relics and still win that battle fairly handily. And that's the importance of mods and getting the right speed and following these guidelines to increase your speed for all your teams. It's very important. In Discord, there's a bunch of bots that will tell you what your mod score is. The higher the mod score, the better. But also, when you're a guild leader and you're recruiting and people don't have high mod scores, don't necessarily write them off as somebody who doesn't work on mods. It's very likely that they just got a bunch of lightspeed tokens and there's no way to keep up. There's just not. But you have to have something in those mod slots, because otherwise you're just making the characters weaker than they potentially could be. And then over time, yes, like you need to be working on them, like I just showed you. You need to be getting better mods, and you need to be putting them on characters, obviously. And that's when your mod score goes up, because you have all of these bigger, faster mods, and you're putting them on characters. Your mod score will go up. I don't necessarily know all the bots off the top of my head that have these. I know the one that my guild, the Banthas, use, the Bantha Alliance, and I can help with that. Let me get to my bot channel, because I don't want to be clogging up random channels in my guild chat with random nonsense, but I don't mind doing it in my bot channel. So the one we use is mod score, is the Omega bot. That's how we find our mod score. So Omega bot is a really good one that can do that. And then there's a report mod quality, and it does a graph over time, and that is through WookieBot. So those are going to be the two bots that I know my guild uses to figure out our mod score and to figure out if somebody is getting better over time. That is by far the most important thing, is that you see growth. And you'll see dips in some of those graphs in WookieBot. And that's just somebody that maybe unlocked a GL. And so all of a sudden they've lost some of their good mods, and so their mod score goes down because they've unlocked a bunch of characters, maybe through lightspeed tokens, to get that GL, and it was just too much growth at once, and so their mod score goes down a little bit in that chart. But then as long as it's going back up and you can see that they're actively working their mods, they're going to be fine. It's going to be exactly kind of what you want actually over time. You just want to see that they're making that effort. That's the most important thing, is that they're making the effort to increase their mods. My mod score on even this account is really bad. Too much growth in the last 2 years. I haven't been able to keep up with my mods, but you can see that I'm working on it. And I will pull that into a screen here in a second to show you guys just kind of what that chart should look like. So give me 1 second to get that pulled up. Thank you guys for that brief pause there. I wanted to make sure that nobody else's information is going to be able to be seen. Obviously, it's Discord. I try to respect people's privacy. But this is the WookieBot that shows the mod quality over time. And as you can see, my graph has steadily gone up. I mean, you do see dips, and then there was even a time here where my account was locked out, so it stayed exactly how it was. But you can see I am making the effort to improve my mods. I'm doing the best I can to increase that score consistently over time. Around here, I unlocked a couple of GLs, so I was actually able to go up while unlocking those GLs, which was kind of good. Normally, you do see a little bit of a dip here. So if you're looking at somebody's score, trying to decide if you want them in your guild leaders, as long as they're making progress, as they're increasing everything, that's a good sign that they're working their mods. It's a good sign that they understand it's important and they're trying to get there. So you could still have a really good player on your hands. Just because their mod score is low doesn't necessarily mean they don't know what they're doing. You really want to check out those graphs to make sure that they're constantly improving, and not by a little bit. I mean, I've nearly doubled my mod score. That's quite a bit in a year. Now, mine is still really, really bad. I understand that. I'm putting it out there for the world for you guys to see. Like, it's okay to have a bad mod score. None of us are perfect. We're human. We're all learning to play this game. And we're all doing the best we can with what we have. The key is, especially now that most of you watching this are probably going to be newer players, stay on top of your mods, and then your mod score will increase with your roster over time. You'll have a good mod score. People will look, they'll know what you're doing. You're going to be more competitive in the game modes you're playing, and you'll be able to punch up more, even with Relic Delta, because you're just going to be so much better modded than the other players. So that is one thing I will say. Completely free-to-play players, they're going to be doing a lot better with keeping up with their mod score than people that are buying every other Lightspeed bundle that comes out, that are progressing the game too fast and not spending the same amount of time and resources in their mods. Their mods are going to suffer. It's just what it is. It's going to be a fairly common thing along the game right now. But right here, this is really where the good players get separated from the bad players, and where the great players get separated from the good players, and where the truly elite get separated from the good players. It's in their mods. Plain and simple. It's something that nobody wants to do. It's annoying. It takes time. It's not fun working on them. But it does make the game a lot more fun, because all of a sudden you're faster, you're winning more. So you're putting in a little bit of time, a little bit of effort to be better. But once again, if you're not trying to be the best you can, because it's a game, not everybody's playing it for that reason. If you're just trying to collect but you still want to put mods on there, you can lower those requirements that I put on the screen for you. Like, you don't have to have this exact standard. Like, maybe to you, because you're not wanting to spend as much time, a 10 and up gold is fine to take to 6 dot. You don't need it to have 10 speed on a purple. Maybe you only want it to have 6. It's up to you. These are what the other content creators and what all the discords I've ever seen typically really say are the bare minimums. If you're wanting to be competitive at all, this is what you should do. At minimum, you can bump those numbers up if you want to try to be truly tip of the spear even. But once again, it's your game. If you're not trying to be competitive, you're just trying to have a good time, you can lower those a little bit. So this has been your nerdy stepdad, showing you guys mods, working his mods, hoping that you guys have learned a lot. You have a better understanding of mods and why they're important now. In the future, as more questions come out from my guild, as they start to get these mods up and running, I'm sure I'll have more mod videos in the future. I do hope you guys have a wonderful day. To all my Bantha brothers, good luck in your territory battles, territory wars, GAC events, and to everybody, may the Force be with you.
Where are you going, nerdy?
For a nap.